Today we're talking about Peghole alignment with TV Paint. TV Paint's Pegholes registration tool is a great option if you scan your drawings with a feed scanner, or if you scan with the flatbed scanner but you don't use a peg bar. I am in TV Paint, and I'm going to scroll down to the Pegholes registration window. If you don't see it, you can go to Window, Animation, Pegholes registration, and make sure you see a check right there. Depending on if you've used this feature before, it's going to have different sizing for the peg width, peg height, and search width and search height. I use 2 pegs. Usually the flat outer pegs are plenty good enough on their own. If you have a bunch of processing power to spare, I guess use 3, but I use 2. I'm going to first click into this interior red box, which is the peg width and peg height, and I'm going to drag it on top of my far left peg, and I'm also going to adjust the size. These little arrows here, if I hover over them, you see the tooltip. You can click and drag in either direction. The maximum width is 500 pixels. Let's drag it to be approximately the width of the Peghole. Give it a little bit of cushion around there, and then our height is way off, so let's drag the height down to be a little cozier around that little guy there. There it is. And then right now our search width is all over the place, so we can make it smaller. It basically is a motion tracking / motion stabilization based tool where you have a defined shape that you're looking for, which is peg width, peg height, and you have a search area, which is where the software will look for that shape. The bigger the search area, the more RAM it's going to use to do this. I'm going to make it somewhat cozy, but not too cozy, so let's say somewhere around there. Notice that when I look at my right peg, this has already been adjusted because it knows that for ACME pegs, your 2 outside pegs are going to be the same size, so that's good to go. I just need to drag it into place. I'm going to click apply. First of all, you can see that on apply on, it sets a current layer. And the other options are selected layers and all layers. So let's say you have a really complicated scene that you've animated on paper, and you've separated parts of a character into multiple image sequences that you've drawn on different sheets, and you need all of those layers to be registered to the exact same spot. You could bring in each one of those scan sequences as its own layer, and theoretically you could set this to all layers and register everything in one go. I've done it with maybe 10 or 11 layers and it works great. It does take longer, but kind of a nice feature. So because we only have one layer, I'm just going to click on the name of the layer, and we will check selected layers and click apply. And it takes a little bit of time. The older your machine is, the longer it's going to take. I'm guessing that since it's only 12 frames, it'll take maybe 40 seconds or so, and we'll take a look at the results. I'm realizing I probably should have showed you before doing this that it was not registered, but just trust me that the Pegholes were swimming around. You can look at my other Peghole registration video. It's about using OLM Peghole stabilizer for example of what this might have looked like unregistered. It's done, and let's play it back. It'll take a second. There we go. So if we look at this, this is like really rock solid registration. We can see that there's some kind of like nibbly bits boiling around the edges because what you're aligning is really a shadow. It's a shadow of an area that did not reflect the sensor light back at the sensor. So if you have TV Paint and you're not using this feature, use it. It's awesome. And it allows you to scan without a peg bar.